Hello everybody, welcome back. Today we are planning to go and look for some lions. What do you think, Barton? Do you think we're going to find some lions?
Definitely, I'm 100% we will find them and we'll try our best to find them today.
I like that attitude. Yeah. Alright, well, shall we get going?
Okay.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Chris, I want to show you something very quickly. So this plant is called the wild sage. So wild sage are one of the plants which the local people, we were using them as a mosquito repellent. And also it's well known of smelling very nicely in the bush. So what we do, we gather them and then burn them. So that smoke will chase away the mosquito. And also in olden days, the Bushmen, remember the Bushmen were hunters and gatherers. So what they will do, they will go early in the morning and collect this and soak them in the water. So early in the morning before they start to go out to hunt, they need to bath so that that smell of a human being they shouldn't have it. That's how the local people were surviving through these plants called the wild sage.
Well, we are still quite heavily into the process of trying to figure out which lions are which and what the dynamics are here on Xaranna. But we've just been told that this morning, one of the guys, when he was dropping off his guests at the airstrip, actually saw some lionesses at a waterhole close by. And so we want to head over there and see exactly who they might be and how they fit into the story here at Xaranna. Look at these little munchkins. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe it. We were not expecting there to be any cubs here. And Barton says that these cubs actually have never been seen before. So this is such a special moment. These lionesses weren't exactly difficult to spot. They were lying out in the open here. But we were not expecting these little cubs. Now, if you look at where these lionesses are lying, can you see how they're right in the middle of an open floodplain? And it's actually because there's a waterhole close by. There is a herd of tsetse in the background, but I don't think they're too fazed by the fact that the tsetse are there. For one, 2 lionesses, the tsetse are going to be a little bit nervous of. And because they've got the cubs here, they're not going to be in the mood to hunt. So the tsetse aren't actually making a run for it. They're also just watching and waiting to see what happens. So it's interesting to see how a predator and a prey can coexist without actually causing any disturbance in each other's lives. Look at how these little ones are fighting over mum's milk. They're trying to get to a teat into a comfortable position. And it's really just because they know that mum's milk has so much nutrients in it and it's so good for them. And obviously, I suppose being a cub, it probably tastes very good as well, since at this age they won't be eating meat, so they don't know any other means of sustenance. And it's just so fascinating to see how that instinctual drive is coming through already at such a young age, because not only at this age will they be fighting over mum's milk, but when they get older, these cubs are going to start fighting over carcasses and having to compete with other lions. Oh look, there's an elephant coming down to the water. And it looks like he's not really interested in drinking. Look at how he's flinging that mud across his body. Now, it is quite late afternoon, so it's interesting to watch this elephant starting to throw mud on his body at this time of day. I mean, it has been quite a hot day, so maybe it's just a way for him to cool himself off after walking around in the sun trying to get to the water as quickly as possible. Or, I mean, it could also be a way of maybe adding an extra layer of protection against the cold during the evening. It's quite well known that the mud that elephants use to smear on themselves is actually a way of protecting their skin from the sun and from external elements. So I guess my theory would be that maybe as that mud dries, it also adds an extra layer of insulation, so that as the temperature drops during the evening and into the night, this elephant at least has an extra layer of protection. Kind of like how we use jackets, I guess. Uh-oh, he's starting to come towards the lions. I wonder if he smelt them. You might find that maybe he was so desperate to get to the water he didn't really bother to look around at first. And now that he's realized there's something here, he wants to find it. He wants to investigate and see what's going on. So this could get interesting. Oh, and look at how the cubs are starting to react. Can you see how they're starting to duck down into the grass? The grass here isn't that tall, so they're going to have a bit of a hard time hiding. But they've already got that instinct, so it's clear that mom's already taught them when you see something that you're not sure of or that you're afraid of, you need to duck away and you need to keep hidden. So for now, I think they're going to try to stick close to mum. But let's see what this elephant does. He is getting closer. Uh-oh. Did you see how that elephant he gave a bit of a half head shake in the direction of the lions? So I don't think he's seen them yet, just judging by where he's walking off to, but I think he definitely knows they're in the area. Well, it doesn't seem like the one lioness is very fazed by the elephant at all. She's not really interested, but the cubs, on the other hand, look very nervous. They keep trying to see where that elephant's going. You might find that they haven't had many experiences with a lot of the animals out here, so they're a little bit more nervous. But then if you look at mum, I think also because the cubs are on edge, she's not too happy. But she also has to protect those cubs. The other lioness, she will help protect the cubs, but that's not her main goal. Her main goal is to survive. Whereas mum has to protect those little ones. That's her next generation. So she's going to be a little bit more on edge. Well, it looks like the cubs have relaxed a little bit. They're starting to play around. But watch the middle cub. Can you see how it's still watching in the direction of the elephant? It's not feeling very secure. It looks like that elephant is still milling about here. He's trying to figure out where these lions are. And I don't think he's going to give up very easily. Oh, look at how the cubs are running. But watch Mum. She has gotten up and she's moving with the cubs. It's almost like she's given them a bit of a signal. But now she's lying down again. So I think she wanted to get closer to the cubs. She wanted to put them between her and the other lioness so that they can be a little bit more protected. But she needs to watch this elephant now, because now I'm sure he would have seen them as she got up. Oh, he's coming, he's coming. Oh no, he separated the cubs from the lionesses. Oh, those cubs are going to have to move quickly on the other side of the water to try to get back to Mum. Oh no, he spotted the cubs. Oh, little cubs. Oh, such relief. The cubs are okay. But they're still quite far from Mum. And I mean, it doesn't seem like such a big deal. Mum's not that far. She's on the other side of the waterhole. But they still have to get around without that elephant taking more notice in them. Well, the lionesses at the moment are just watching. But I think it's because they don't want to go towards the cubs, because the elephant is actually still here. He's not far. He's just gone off into the thickets. The last thing they want to do is draw attention to those cubs. So for now, they just have to stay put and the cubs have to find their own way back. Oh, these cubs are a little bit confused. They don't know how to get back to Mum. Look at how they're running. Oh, I would also be absolutely terrified. I mean, imagine you were those cubs and that elephant came after you when you're that tiny. Oh, it looks like they've finally seen Mum. Oh, look at how they're starting to run quicker. Yay, they reunited. Oh, I'm so glad. My heartbeat was racing for a minute. I'm pretty sure my heart stopped. Oh, there gets up Mum. I'm not surprised. So it looks like what she's doing is trying to move them further away from the direction that elephant went in, and also away from the alarm calls. I'm not sure if you heard in the background, but amongst all the chaos, those Tessabe and Zebra, they actually saw the lions get up and run, and so now they've alerted everything in the area to the fact that there's a predator here, which means these cubs are not really safe out in the open. So she actually needs to take them a little bit further, but I think for now she might stay in the open just to scan around and make sure nothing comes her way in the meantime before it gets dark. Oh, and look at all the love they're giving Mum. Sweet. So that's basically them just being very relieved. Those cubs are obviously very happy to be alive because it could have ended very badly. And they're happy to see Mum again. They know they're safe. They're protected when she's around. And of course, back to playing. It's like nothing ever happened. But I guess out here, this sort of thing happens all the time. So as an animal out here, you can't really dwell on what's just happened. You kind of just have to move on with your life. And I suppose these cubs have learnt that, even from the time they were first born, I'm sure they came across already a whole bunch of dangers that they've had to deal with. And now they just have to continue on and be thankful that they're still here and they get to live another day. Oh, and it looks like at that the tsessibe have started running. The lionesses have certainly noticed. They probably won't hunt now just because the cubs are around, but they will be taking note of what's in the area, especially as it starts to get dark. Oh, look, the cubs have also taken notice. Look at them stalking. It's probably mainly out of curiosity, but I think they've also realized that Mom was watching those tsessibe. And so they're starting to figure out at this stage in their life what's prey and what's danger. And so now they've gotten a little idea of both, I guess. And now they're bored of the tsessibe, and it looks like it's straight back to playtime. Oh, I just love how they stalk and play. It's so cute. Well, unfortunately, it is getting dark, and because these little cubs are still too young, we aren't able to shine a spotlight on them and we aren't able to view them at night, just because it makes them more vulnerable to things like other predators, potentially other lions, leopards, hyenas, which I heard one in the background a little bit earlier. And so I think it's time to leave them be. It's time to let Mum decide where's a safe place to stash them for the night. And then she may actually leave them there for the night and then go hunting with the other lioness, or she may just stick around wherever she's kept them so that she can protect them for the rest of the evening. But what a special sight that was.